Okay, so this video was supposed to come out a bit ago, but between my busy life and catching COVID for a second time, it took longer than expected to make. Some of the info in this video is therefore not relevant anymore, but I still think the video was a pretty good time. So here it is. Okay, let's begin for real. You know, I don't even like McDonald's that much. Gamers of the internet, if you're like me, you were incredibly excited for the Genshin Impact McDonald's crossover event. Not only is it hilarious to imagine Beidou and Kazuha chowing down on some Big Macs, but you're telling me if I buy apple pies, I'll get free Primogems? Or I could buy an entire meal to get some new wing drip? Sign me up! I like Genshin Impact. A lot. There's a non-zero chance it's taken over my entire life. So I was not going to miss out on an opportunity like this if I could help it. Unfortunately, it turns out maybe I, in fact, can't help it. If you've been feverishly trying to acquire the meal the same way I have, you'd know how difficult it is to get your hands on. First, you have to make an account and sign up to receive emails in the McDonald's app. Already, this is kind of a turnoff. I do not want more companies to have access to my data. But if it's for my beloved Genshin Impact, I guess I can make an exception. There must be sacrifices. After signing up, you need to order the Genshin meal specifically in the McDonald's app. For me, this is where I ran into a brick fucking wall. The meal simply wasn't available to order in the app. I could only get the apple pie. Something must be broken on the McDonald's backend. Look, I'm just gonna say it. This would never have happened in the Wendy's app. So I guess that's that. If I can't even order the meal, I can't get the code to redeem the McDonald's wings. I'm sure the rest of the internet is having better luck with this. Right? It turns out, even people who can order the Genshin Impact meal aren't receiving their redemption codes. I've read a lot of complaints online about how it's just not working. This sucks. I hope that McDonald's will sort out its problems sooner rather than later. It's early in this event still. I'm sure in a few days all will be well. And if they aren't, I swear to God I will never forgive this transgression. That's really all I have to say about this McDonald's fiasco. But I don't think the video is going to be quite long enough with just that. So, to pad some extra time, I'm gonna make a tier list of all the Archons based on how well they perform as a McDonald's franchise manager. Let's go! Venti gets a lot of shit from the community for being a bad Archon. I think the reason for that is because it's true. He would not fare any better as a manager. He'd probably just tell all of his employees, hey, we don't have a schedule here, just come into work whenever you feel like it. Venti would never even show up himself. When his franchise inevitably gets shut down after like a week of being open, Venti won't even learn about it for at least another decade. F tier. Zhongli is interesting. He certainly is an Archon who has the best interest of the people at heart, but he's also a boomer and just wants to retire. On the one hand, I know he would make good decisions that would rake in the cash dollar, but on the other hand, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want to show up to work most of the time. Man just wants to play golf and drink margaritas. It really depends on who he hires to be directly below him, but at that point he's just a good delegator. I think I'm gonna have to give him a B tier. Next we got ourselves Raiden Shogun. I really don't know what to make of her abilities to be a manager. I think she would suck ass, but I'm not confident enough in that claim to stake my life on it. She would certainly strive for consistency, whether she'd be a good manager or not. I do believe she'd put 100% of her soul into running the franchise, which is something to be commended. She's a very serious person, and someone who's serious about trying to do things well will at the very least fail upwards and learn from their mistakes. I'll give Raiden a C tier, I suppose. Unfortunately, due to child labor laws, I don't think Nihida would be allowed to run the McDonald's franchise. But let's assume for a moment that we live in the worst possible timeline, where Project 2025 goes through, and children are no longer safe from exploitation. How would this baby do? I mean, she's probably the smartest being on all of Tevat. She can strategize, understand data, and come up with foolproof plans anyone can follow. Nahida would be turning profits in a matter of days, if not hours. I think she's an obvious S tier. Farina, my beloved, I'm sorry, but you're dumb as rocks. I don't think you'd be a very good manager. Farina would somehow find a way to turn every combo meal into a variation on mac and cheese. If I'm going to McDonald's, it's because I want a cheeseburger. Well, actually, if I'm going to McDonald's, it's because something in my life has gone horribly wrong. But either way, I'm not going there for macaroni. Although, credit where it's due, nobody can deal with stress better than Farina. Girl doesn't just bottle up. She seals her emotions away in the fucking Millennium Puzzle. And if Farina was a manager, you know she'd bring back live music. Eat your heart out, Chuck E. Cheese. There's a new band in town, and they're called Farina's Awkward Theater Kids. No doubt Farina's a great showman, but at the end of the day, you need more than jazz hands to run a restaurant. She's going in the D tier. Finally, we come to the latest Archon at time of making this video, Mavwika. We've only gotten 2 chapters with her so far, but I feel extremely confident that she's among the best of the best when it comes to managing how others flip burgers. We've already seen her literally play 4D chess. We've seen her self-sacrifice for the good of her nation, and we've seen how calm she remains under intense pressure. She's a planner, she's a thinker, she's the easiest S tier of the list. We haven't technically met her yet, but I'll still rate the Tsaritsa based on what we do know. As much as I hate to admit it, I think she'd actually make a good manager. It turns out when you're a dictator in charge of a faction of terrorists, it's pretty easy to make things go your way. She could make going to her McDonald's once a day a mandatory thing for all citizens. You and me understand that that's obviously cheating, but to a fascist like the Tsaritsa, that's just playing the game, baby. I'll give her an A tier, I suppose. Well, there you have it. A short rant about the McDonald's app followed by a definitive tier list of how the Archons would stack up as managers. Do you agree with me? I would like to hear your takes on who should go where. I'd also like to hear who you think would be the best and worst characters in general when it comes to managing a McDonald's. Leave a comment with your thoughts. If people like this video, I could make another one. There's a lot of characters to rank. Until that day comes though, try watching another one of my videos. And of course, remember to like and subscribe. I think my next video is going to be on an anime. I've begun work on it, but who knows if something else will come up before I'm done with it. I hope to see you for that. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a wonderful day, everyone.